Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all on the 15th and the last day of this 2-week advanced online professional training program on utilization of nanomaterials and instrumental technique for energy applications. Today, we have our last session on scenario of renewable energy. And to deliver this session, we have among us a very senior official from Ntpc Dadri, Government of India, Mr. Alok Mathur. So let me introduce our speaker to the audience first. Mr. Alok Mathur is currently working as Additional General Manager, Ntpc Limited. He joined Ntpc in 1989 and have more than 30 years of experience in power sector. He worked in operation, energy efficiency and monitoring, maintenance, contracts and materials, field quality assurance, total quality management, and business excellence departments. He has also worked at Vindhyachal Super Thermal Power Station, Enta Gas Power Station, Faridabad Gas Power Station, and National Capital Power Plant at Dadri. After obtaining his BTech in Mechanical Engineering and MBA in Financial Management, he has also obtained Boiler Operation Engineer certification from Directorate of Boilers, and he is a certified energy auditor from BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Ministry of Energy. Alok sir, am I audible to you, sir? Alok sir, am I audible to you, sir? I request everyone to wait for a few minutes.
Hello, Amen.
Because our speaker is a very senior official from the Government of India. He might be joining in a few minutes.
Yeah, you are audible. Please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, on the behalf of Suresh Gyan Bihar University, Jaipur, I extend hearty welcome to you, sir. We are so thankful to you that you agreed to join this session and you're delivering this session, sir. So you're perfectly audible, sir. Can we start the session? I have just introduced you to our participants and now we are ready to begin.
Okay. So I'm starting my session. So is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir, your presentation is visible, sir, and your voice is also audible.
Okay, so today we will talk about the renewable energy scenario. Okay, fine. So today we will talk about the renewable energy scenario and how the renewable energy is coming into our life and what is the importance of this renewable energy system. So first we start with the consumption pattern of the fossil fuels. Most of the energy which we are enjoying today is coming from the fossil fuels. So basically the major fossil fuels which are used for producing energy is the natural gas, coal and oil. So if we see the consumption pattern, today we are at the peak of consuming the fossil fuels. So the measurement of consumption is given in metric tons of oil equivalent per annum. So this is the way we are consuming the energy. After the Industrial Revolution in 1840, the energy consumption, the energy consumption started very fast. So the use of fossil fuels also increased. But we all know that there is a limit. There are limited sources of the fossil fuels, which will certainly end at some time. So this is the actual consumption and the forecast of the consumption of the fossil fuels. In this, it is very clearly seen that the oil are going to be finished by 2080 and natural gas and coal will be finished by next 100 years. So after that, what will happen? This is the question. This is the biggest question. How we will get our energy? Because this is the consumption of the fossil fuels, but we are using the energy. The utilization of energy is not reducing, but the consumption of fossil fuels, they are going to reduce because their availability. So the time is running out soon and there will be nothing left to burn on the earth but the earth itself. Means no fossil fuels will be there, and what we require at this juncture is the usage of the renewable energy. So the solution of the alternative of the present energy sources are the renewable energy sources. So renewable energy sources might be it be hydropower, the wind power, the solar power, and the biomass. So these are the major sources of the renewable energy, and there are many other sources of the renewable energy. Means those energies which are non-fossil fuel energy. So this is the topic of our presentation today, the renewable energy scenario. So first we will talk about the introduction to the renewable energy. What is the renewable energy? Then we will see the world renewable energy overview, means how the consumption, the development is taking place at the world level. Then we will see the energy, the Indian renewable energy scenario. Then what are the renewable energy policies and the targets? And finally, the Ntpc's contribution and plan in renewable energy. So we start with introduction to the renewable energy. What is renewable energy? Now, any energy which is not coming from the fossil fuels or which can replenish itself, replenish by itself, is called the renewable energy. So we see that most of the renewable energy, there are many type of renewable energies. So the common type of hydroelectric power, wave energy, tidal energy, solar energy, biomass energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy. So these are the various forms of the renewable energies. And The interesting part is that most of the renewable energy, other than the geothermal energy, are coming from sun. Means they are driven by either they are directly or indirectly coming through sun. Say we take the hydroelectric power. This hydrological cycle depends upon the sun because the water vaporizes at the ocean and then the hydrological cycle starts. So the main source of energy behind the hydrological cycle is the sun. Likewise, wave energy. Wave is due to the wind. The wind flowing over the ocean is creating waves, and wind is because of the temperature difference. The driving force for the wind is the temperature difference, and temperature is again coming from sun. The tidal energy, it's a gravitational force of sun and moon which are creating the tides, and again this is because of sun. Solar energy is directly the radiation of the sun. Biomass energy, the biological cycle also depends upon the sun because the plants and trees take their growth energy, their food from the sun. Geothermal energy is the energy contained within the earth, so this is not coming from the sun. But if we treat that earth was the part of a sun at some time, so that energy is again from the sun. The wind energy we have already talked about, that this energy is because of the temperature difference, and the main motive force is the temperature difference, and that is because of sun. So we see that all kind of renewable energy is connected with sun directly or indirectly. Now we are coming to the world's renewable energy overview. When we talk about energy, this is not only the electrical power. It consists of the transportation energy, the heating and cooling energy, and the electrical energy. These are the major parts of the energy. So we see almost 80% of the energy is coming from the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels we have already talked about. It is petroleum, gas, and coal. And about 2.2% energy is coming from the nuclear energy, and around 17% of the energy is coming from the renewables. Now, in 17%, the 7% of the energy is coming through the traditional biomass. Traditional biomass means the wood, cow dung, or any vegetative debris which is being fired for the energy. But there are modern ways of renewable energies also. So that part is around 10 to 11%. Majority of that power is used for heating purpose. So this 4.3% energy, which is the renewable energy, which is consisting of biomass, solar, geothermal, this is being used for heating purpose. 1% of this renewable energy, that is biodiesel or bioethanol, these are used for transport purpose. And rest 5.7% energy is for electrical generation. The major portion of that is coming from hydropower, that is 3.6%, and 2.1% through wind, solar, biomass, geothermal, and ocean energy. Now, there is a question whether the hydropower should be considered as the renewable energy or not. Now, there are many theories about that, and different nations have their opinion about whether the hydropower should be considered as a renewable energy or not. See, at the world level, when we are talking about, then hydropower is treated as the renewable energy. But in India, the large hydropower plants are not treated as the renewable energy, and only the small hydropower plants, say with the head of 5 to 10 meters are considered as a renewable energy. This is because this construction of hydropower is affecting the life at the earth. Means for creating large hydro plants, we have to make dams to collect the water at reservoirs, and that further increases the pressure on the earth, and also uh, disturb the life at there because of the submerged area, because of the collection of the water. So in India, we don't treat the hydropower, the big hydropower plants as the renewable energy, but when we talk about at world level, then this hydropowers are also considered as renewable energy. So we have already talked about that the major consumption of energy usage is for thermal purpose, that is heating and cooling, for transportation purpose, and for power generation purpose. So majority of the energy is being used for heating and cooling purpose, that is 51%. The transportation energy is about 32%, and the power, electrical power energy is about 17%. So in thermal energy, about 10% of the energy used for heating and cooling is coming from renewable energy, and rest 40% is from non-renewable, that is from fossil fuels. Out of this 10%, around 3% energy is from this renewable, and rest 7% is from bioenergy. And in transportation, around 3% energy is coming from renewables, and at power sector, around 26% of the energy is coming through renewables. These are the policies for renewable energy. So this is the development of policies. See, in if we talk about the world level, there are around 195 countries, but only 23 countries have made the policies for heating and cooling regulatory policies. Since they have the regulations for heating and cooling energy. About 70 countries have made the policy about transportation system, and 143 countries have made the policies about power generation. So this is here we can see that most of the countries, the majority of the countries are making policies for the power regulations, because that is the field where we are trying to substitute the fossil fuels from the renewables. Now, when we talk about the electricity, then 72.7% energy is coming through non-renewable fossil fuels, and 27.3% energy is coming from renewable. So this is the present scene at the world level, that around 27% energy is coming from the renewable. Now again, we see that 15.9% of the renewables are from hydropower. Because we are talking about at the world level, so we are considering hydropower as the renewables. But when we talk about India, we don't treat the hydropowers, the big hydropower plants, as the renewable energy. So at world level, the 15.9% is energy is coming from hydropower, and rest 5.9% from wind energy, 2.84% from solar, 2.2% from biopower, and 0.4% from geothermal, concentrated solar plant, and ocean power. ocean power. So this portion of the renewable energy is under development, means geothermal, concentrated solar power and ocean power. This is under the development phase, and wind power and solar power are in the developing phase. Now, if we see the capacity growth of fossil fuels and nuclear fuels, around 10 to 12 years before, means in around 2009, only 40% of the energy were coming from the renewable and 60% of the energy were coming from the fossil fuels. Means if you increase the capacity addition by 100 megawatt, the 60 megawatt is coming from the fossil fuels and 40 megawatt was coming from the non-renewables. But now with the development of renewables, this proportion is changing. Now 75% of the energy, we are talking about the electrical energy, in the field of electricity, because transportation and heating and cooling are again not developing at that pace which this electricity requirement is, electricity production is developing. So now at present around 75%, if the 100 megawatt is added, then 75 megawatt is coming from the renewables and 25 megawatt is from fossil fuels. Now at world level, there is a policy to substitute the fossil fuels with the renewable energy so that we can be ready for the future. This is the annual growth of the renewable power capacity. See, the major renewable power is coming from solar, wind, and hydropower. So this is the growth you can see. Means in last 7-8 years, how this energy growth is taking place. In 2013, around 30 megawatt capacity addition was taking annually through solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower energy. But in 2019 to 2020, around 115 megawatt capacity addition is through solar power. So the maximum development which has taken place is in a solar power. Wind power is again, it is developing. So earlier it was 35 megawatt in 2013 and it has reached up to 60 megawatt in 2019. Hydro share is reducing. Again, we have discussed that it is affecting the human life and the biodiversity and the biological cycle and submergence of land and pressure on the unequal pressure distribution on the earth surfaces. So the hydropower consumption is gradually reducing. We are avoiding the installation of the large hydropower. So earlier 30 megawatt was coming from the hydropower in 2013, but now its share has reduced less than 20 megawatt. Now there is a little growth in the biopower, geothermal and ocean power and concentrated solar power. So these are under the development stage and still only pilot projects are coming. No big project has been coming in these areas. Now, this is the growth of the solar PV capacity. So, solar plant are mostly coming through photovoltaic cells. That is PV. PV is photovoltaic cells. So, this is the growth of the solar PV capacity. In 2019, 23 megawatt was coming as the solar. The 23 gigawatt was the capacity of the solar PV cells, and now it has increased to more than 700 megawatts till date. So this is the data for 2019 where it was shown 627 megawatt. Now you can see which countries are coming up in the field of solar. So it is very clearly visible that China is the leader in the solar power. Almost 80% or more than 80% of the solar cells are manufactured at the China, and so the China is the leader. The second nation which is coming after China is the United States, then Japan, Germany, and India. So we see, if we talk about the top 5 countries, India is also there. This is the growth of wind energy, how the wind energy is increasing. So this is here it is shown that in 2019, the wind energy was around 159 gigawatt, which has increased to 651 gigawatt in 2019. So if we see the growth rate, earlier it was around 35 megawatts, and now the growth rate is 60 to 70 gigawatts per year. So this is the growth rate of the wind energy, but it is now the solar energy has surpassed the growth of a wind energy. Now again, if we see which countries are the leaders in this, so again we see that China is a leader in the growth of a wind energy. Most of the windmills are manufactured at China. Second comes the United States, then Germany, and then the India. So again, India is in the top 5 position in the wind. This is the current renewable energy status of the world. So at present, you can see that in 2018, the capacity of the hydropower was around 1135 megawatt, which is 1150 megawatt in 2019. I'm showing the data of 2019. This is the data of IEA. Actually, in 2020, 21 and 21, 22, the data was not published by IEA because of the COVID reasons. And now they are going to publish the data of 2022 in a short period. So the data available is of 2018-19, and we see the growth. So the growth of 15 gigawatt is in a hydropower, 60 in a wind, and 115. The maximum growth of is in solar PV capacity. So if we talk about the total renewable capacity with hydro, then it is around 200 gigawatts per year. And if we talk about without hydro, because many of the countries are not treating hydro power plant as the renewables, then it is around 185 gigawatts per year. So in 2018, the total capacity was 1252 gigawatts, and in 2019, the present the capacity was 1437 gigawatts. This is the leadership position in renewable energy. So you can see all the renewable energy, China is at the top position, whether it be hydropower plant or the wind power or solar power or other big power capacities. So in all those China's, in the biopower capacity, the China is the leader. But you will also see that in wind, bio, and solar, India is also among the top 5 countries. So India is also a leader, is one of the leaders in the development of the renewable energy. But if we see the per capita development of a renewable energy, India does not stand because of its large population. In that case, Ireland is first, Denmark is second, Sweden is third, Germany is fourth, and Australia is at fifth position. Now, all the countries around the world have made their targets to substitute the fossil fuels with the renewable energy. So these are the various targets shown through the color coding, that how the countries are going to substitute their fossil fuels with the renewable energy by in the coming 10 years, that is by 2032. So you can see the Brazil, the Germany, and Norway. These are the countries where they have claimed that they will substitute fossil fuels by 90 to 100% by in the next coming 10 years. And Denmark is the only country which has claimed that it will substitute its 100% energy from fossil fuels to the renewable energy. India is in the range of 30 to 40%, that 40% of the energy will be changed from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Now, when we talk about the power cost, so this is the graph showing the power cost trends of different energies in the last 10 to 12 years. So if you see the range of the fossil fuel energy, this is in US dollars per megawatt hour. So the range of the fossil fuel energy is from 50 to 100 to 175, which is shown here. This is the fossil fuel energy rates in around the world. At the lowest at the $50 per megawatt hour, and highest at 175. The cost of energy through fossil fuels in India is around 75 to 100, depending on the location of different power plant. So you can see the development of different energies, say biopower. This is the size which is showing the capacity of the power plants for a single machine. So initially the biopower were of the capacity less than 1 megawatt, but now the big biopowers are also coming with a capacity of more than 300 megawatts. But there is a little development, and you can see this price in 10 years has only reduced by $10 from 76 to 66 dollars per megawatt hour in a bio. In geothermal, the cost is increasing from 49 to 73 because geothermal is basically the core energy, the crust energy of the earth, and there are very little locations, there were very few locations where this kind of energy is available. And also there are different difficult locations. The excavation cost is high, and then the circuits are long, the fluid circuits, the heat transfer circuits are long. So the geothermal power is still expensive. The hydropower has also increased from 37 to 47 because of the increase in the cost of constructions. But you can see the solar power, which was earlier at $378 per megawatt hour, has reduced substantially to $68 per megawatt hour. So there is a huge development in the solar power. Likewise, the concentrated solar power, still it is in developing phase. It is not in the range of a fossil fuel range. It is at $182 dollars per megawatt hour. But yes, developments are taking place, but still no big plant is coming in the CSP. And offshore wind power and an onshore wind power. So this, the developments are taking place in the wind power energy also, and the cost is reducing from 161 to 115 and from 86 to 53 megawatt. So we can see that except CSP, the concentrating solar thermal power plants, all the renewable energies are very competitive as compared to the fossil fuel cost range, and these are falling within the fossil fuel cost range and will easily substitute the generation through fossil fuels. So we can say that we have a bright future of renewable energy as far as this cost, the cost economy is concerned, that all the costs, because of the development of the technology, these costs are gradually reducing, and soon we will have a very competitive, even the lesser cost than the fossil fuel, these machines will come up. Now, this is the map showing the access to the energy and the clean cooking. So you can see that North America, Russia, Europe, Australia, these are the countries where 100% access of energy and 100% access to the clean cooking is there. And rest of the world, where the different color shades are shown, there are less than 100% people who have the access of energy and the clean cooking. Like if we talk about India, almost 95% people have access to the energy, but when we talk about the clean cooking, only 49 to 50% people have the access of clean energy. So this is the parameters of the world, that how many people have the access of energy. So in 2010, in India, 68% persons were having the access to the energy, and in 2018, 95% of the people have access to the energy. Now, after talking about the world renewable energy scenario, now we come to the Indian renewable energy scenario. The overview of Indian renewable energy. In India, the installed capacity for power generation, when we talk about the energy, we are limited our this presentation to the electrical power. So the total installed power generation capacity in India is around 395 megawatt. It is almost coming to the 400 megawatt, 400 gigawatts, and 27% of the energy is coming through renewables. Now, if we say, see that world level, at world level also the renewable portion is 27%, and at Indian level, the renewable portion is against 27%. 51% power is coming through coal, 2% from lignite. Lignite is a poor quality of a coal, which is very much resembling to the wood. 6% of the energy is coming from gas, and 12% from hydro, and 2% from the nuclear. You can see that we have not included the hydro portion into the renewable energy as per the Indian Power Sector guidelines. We talk about renewables in terms of solar, wind, a small hydro, and the biomethanation or waste to energy plants. So we see the maximum share of renewables is coming through solar, which is 47%, and number 2 is a wind, which is 38%. Small hydro plants are the plants which have a had limited to 5 to 10 meters. Now, when we talk about the potential, means how much solar potential is there in our country, it is 748 gigawatts. But what is our capacity? It is only 3.3 gigawatt. So we are tapping only 0.005%, 0.004% of the total potential of India. So the maximum potential is at Rajasthan and J&K. Both are the desert. One is a sand desert and other is ice desert. These have the maximum potential. Second comes the Gujarat and Maharashtra. Then, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. And third is Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and other areas. So these this color coding, the intensity of the color shows the potential. So you can see that this is the India has a huge potential for the solar capacity. So this was the policy goal that by 2022 we will achieve the 100 gigawatt. But because of the COVID reasons and the pandemic, we could not achieve this the goal of 100 gigawatt, and this goal has been shifted to 2023. Now, the goal of 2023 is 100 gigawatt. This is the wind potential, the wind energy potential in India. You can see all the coastal areas, whether it be the Gujarat, Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal. These all have a huge potential of wind power. So if we see the total wind power potential, it's 100 gigawatt, and the present wind power installation capacity is 22.6 gigawatt. So if you compare the potential of solar power and wind power has only 100 gigawatt, whereas solar power potential is 748 gigawatt. But if we see the actual power capacity, wind power capacity at present is 22.6 gigawatt, whereas the solar power capacity is only 3.3 gigawatt. But the pace by which the solar power is increasing will soon surpass the capacity of a wind energy. So the policy goal for development of wind power is 60 gigawatt, but again this has been shifted to from 2022 to 2023. So these are the policies for the renewable energy. These are the government policies for supporting the renewable energy, for the development of renewable energy. There are 5 major policies which the government of India has come in with. First is the renewable purchase obligation. Second is tariff and incentives. Third, tax exemptions. Fourth, state level policies, and third is last is the credit. So in renewable purchase obligations, India in the Electricity Act and tariff policy, the government has mandated that every state, every beneficiary should take a certain percentage of their total electrical consumption, of their total demand through renewables. Now, this percentage depends on how much percentage of energy is available in the grid through renewables. In 2022, in 2021-22, this percentage is 21%. So every state should take 21% of their energy through renewable energy, and these plants, these renewable energy plants are called the must-run plants. Means before shutting down of any plant due to lack of demand, the fossil fuel plants will close first, and these renewable energy will come later. So every state, every beneficiary should take their renewable purchase obligation percentage through the renewable energy only. Then these are also supported by the renewable energy certificate mechanism. Each state is being given the renewable energy certificates, and those certificates can be used for purchase of the fossil fuel energies. So these are the certificates. Earlier, you might be knowing that there were green certificates or carbon certificates. So this is the renewable energy certificates are also those kind of certificates which have a purpose to get rebate in the fossil fuel energy if you have a sufficient number of renewable energy certificates. In tariff and incentives, there are a feed in tariffs generation based incentives, means they are given the rebate on their tariffs for reducing the cost of power through renewables. Then power building, priority dispatch, and net metering we have already discussed. Means if any plant is to be shut down for lack of demand, then this will renewable energy will come under the priority dispatch. Means they will not be shut down before the fossil fuels. First, fossil fuel will close down their plant, then only this renewable energy will close if demand is not there. Therefore, these plants are called must-run plants. Then tax exemptions. There are accelerated depreciation of this taxing. Means normally the tax this depreciation is of say 30 years or 25 to 30 years for the fossil fuels. But these have accelerated depreciation, means the depreciation is taken at say 7%, 10% or 15, 7%, 7 years, 10 years or 15 years, means they can depreciate their machinery at an accelerated rate. Like also there are tax holidays, means various tax holidays are there for the renewable energy, and there are exemptions of the excise and customs on their machinery part. State level, out of 28 states, 12 states have announced state policies with the provisions of grid connected rooftop and the off-grid solar. So these are all the renewable energies which are being promoted by the state. Then coming to the credit, that priority sector lending is there. These are the sectors where bank will easily give the loans and you will get the credit enhancement. So these are the policies, these are the supporting policies for renewable, for means more development as compared to the fossil fuel. Now coming to the 2022 target, renewable energy target. Now again, I have already said this, these targets have been shifted to 2023. Now the total solar power capacity target was 100 gigawatt, and wind power capacity was 60, bioenergy 10, and small hydro 5 gigawatt. So this was about 175, but the actual in 2022 is around 145 to 150 gigawatts. So this is the pace which was expected. That was projected that by this pace we will grow. In 2015-16 it was around 38 gigawatt, and in 2021-22 it was expected that this energy will come to 175 gigawatt. But the actual which we could achieve is around 145 to 150 gigawatt. So this target has been shifted to 2023. So out of this 100 gigawatt, the 60 gigawatt are the large scale projects. Means these are the solar parks and the utility scales, and 40 gigawatt are through the small projects like rooftop projects and off-grid solar projects. Off-grid solar projects are the small applications for villagers or for distributed power generation. So this was the original plan for 2022. Now, after this Indian scenario, we are coming to NTPC's contribution and plan in renewable energy. How much NTPC is contributing for renewables? You can see the present capacity of NTPC is around 68.5 gigawatt. But the major portion of the this energy is coming through coal. It is around 82.58% is coming through coal. Gas is contributing around 9.5%, hydro 5.43%, and the contribution of renewables is around 2.6%. Again, you can see that we have not considered the hydro portion, the 5.43% in our renewable, because in India, we don't talk about big hydro plants as the renewables. So out of this renewables, the maximum portion is through solar PV, that is 2.21, and 0.24 is through wind. So if we talk in megawatt terms, the coal capacity is 56,624, gas is 6,511, hydro is 3725, a small hydro is 32 megawatts, solar PV is 1512, and wind is 163. Total is 68.56 gigawatts. This is the renewable energy roadmap for NTPC. But NTPC Limited is making rapid strides in the renewable space to meet its green energy commitment. NTPC has committed about 30%, which is now at 2.6%. We want to increase it to 30% in our portfolio. Apart from setting up its own fleet of solar and wind power projects, NTPC has commissioned 4783 megawatt of capacity in developer mode under the National Solar Mission. Developer mode is a mode where some other agencies own this renewable energy capacity, but NTPC support them to develop the renewable energy capacity, but does not own. But it take the means the development. NTPC develop the solar power capacity and use it for the distribution in the grid. So that is under the National Solar Mission. So you can see the actual megawatt, the actually owned capacity is only 1500, whereas the developer mode capacity is 4783. So in this way, around 6200 megawatt is the total capacity of NTPC in a renewables. In addition, it has also set up a 8 megawatt solar, a small hydropower project. A small hydro is again this where the head is from 5 to 10 meters. So in NTPC, all the cooling water is through this in a closed cycle. Means they take the cooling water, use it in a condenser, and again cool it in a cooling tower and reuse it again. But Singrauli is the only station which was in an open cycle, that it is taking the cooling water from the reservoir and again sending it to the reservoir. So the government has raised an objection that you cannot do this kind of a open circuit cooling water. You cannot keep your cooling water in an open circuit. So that cooling water, which was used at Singrauli, is now being supplied to the Vindhyachal for their closed water consumption. So when you are supplying from one project to other project, that there was a elevation difference of around 5 meters. So using that elevation difference, NTPC has installed 8 megawatt small hydropower project at Singrauli. So these are the present renewable energy projects. The first renewable energy of Dadri solar. Dadri is near Ghaziabad, and the first solar project of NTPC has come in around 2012-2013 of a 5 megawatt. Then the first big solar project of the NTPC has come at Bilhaur. It is in Uttar Pradesh of capacity 225 megawatts. NTPC has used all the available land at different locations of their plant, which was not being used for township or the plant, that the extra available land for solar power plant and developed at Port Blair 5 megawatt, Ramagundam at 10 megawatt, Talcher Kania 10 megawatt, Faridabad 5 megawatt, like that. But NTPC has specifically developed the solar parks at Anantpur Solar at 250 megawatt. This is a big plant. And Bhadla Solar at Rajasthan of capacity 260 megawatt. And now this Mandsaur at Madhya Pradesh at 250 megawatt, and Fatehgarh in Rajasthan again at 200 megawatt. So these are the big projects. These are the big solar projects of NTPC, which are coming in the range of 200 to 250 megawatts. So with this, the total renewable capacity, present capacity, which is owned by NTPC, is 1515 megawatt. Other than NTPC, there are joint ventures and subsidiaries of NTPC, which are also developing the renewable energy capacities. So these are the one at Uttar Pradesh. This is 24 megawatt. Then Patan wind power at Gujarat with 50 megawatts. Then Devbhoomi Dwarka wind power project, Gujarat 63 megawatt. Kasargod solar, this is 50 megawatt. And Tripura, it is 5 megawatt. So with renewables and subsidiaries, the 192 megawatt is also there. So the total renewable energy capacity of NTPC, including the JVs and subsidiary capacity, is 1,707. So these are the pictures of NTPC, where the renewable projects have been established. You can see at NTPC Ramagundam and Simadri. This is the Ramagundam and this is the Simadri. There, because of the paucity of land, they have placed their solar panels in the reservoir. These are the floating kind of solar panels which are developing the renewable energies. And at Bhadla, Dadri, these are on the ground. So we have both kind of renewable, the solar PV plants, the floating plants, and the at stationary or the ground plants. So these are the projects under implementation. Means other than 1550 capacity, 1954 megawatt of the renewable projects are under implementation, out of which 199 constitute floating solar projects located in the reservoirs of the existing situations. Ramagundam 100 megawatt floating being set up under the non-PPA mode in the largest in the country. PPA is purchase power agreement. Whenever you establish any power plant, you first think about means who will purchase your power. So they made an agreement with beneficiaries that you will take away our power. But in Ramagundam, this floating solar power plant being so special that it is the first of its kind in India. So this has been a non-PPA plant, and any of the station, any of the beneficiary can ask for the share in this power plant. So these are the projects under implementation. Ramagundam is coming with F stands for floating and G stands for ground. So Ramagundam floating is coming with 62.5 megawatt. Kayamkulam, Kerala is again a floating of 92 megawatt. Jetsar at Kerala is at ground 80 megawatt. This is the largest plant, Shambhu Ki Burj in Rajasthan, with a 550 megawatt. And Devi Kot at Rajasthan is again 240. Nokhra at Rajasthan, it's near Bikaner, is of 300 megawatt. We have already seen that the largest capacity, the largest potential of the solar is in Rajasthan. So most of the solar plants are coming in Rajasthan. So with this, the total capacity addition by next 3 to 4 years will be 1879 megawatts. So if we talk about our targets, the present installed capacity is around 1.7% in the renewables, which we are going to expand by 24.6%. Means 1/4 of our energy. And if we include the small hydro also, then this capacity will become 35 megawatts. So Ntpc is taking various steps to make the energy portfolio greener. The company plans to have 60 gigawatt capacity through renewable energy, constituting nearly, sorry, this is given wrong, the 35% of its overall power generation capacity. 24 renewables plus 10 small hydro. So this is a growth plan for 2032. So Ntpc is Ntpc would be a 130 gigawatt. At present, we are 65 gigawatt. So we are planning to become a 130 gigawatt company by 2032, and with a diversified fuel mix and a 600 billion units company in terms of generation. At present, we are at 340 to 350 billion unit company, but in coming next year, 10 years, we are going to grow by 600 billion units. Fossil fuel based capacity would achieve a share of 30%, and the thermal based generating capacity share would be around 70%. Share of renewable energy would be around 28%, and 2% will be the small hydro. So Ntpc has, other than this power generation, Ntpc has also taken a new initiative for development of charging infrastructure for the electrical vehicles, and aim to achieve 10% of the estimated market share for the supply of electricity in e-mobility business. This is also coming under the renewable energy growth plan. We are developing the charging stations for the EVs, electrical vehicles, which will be the future of the nation, which we will be substituting the fossil fuel vehicles to the electrical vehicles. So we are making the nation future ready by establishing the charging infrastructure for electrical vehicles. So that was all about our lecture. That we can surely say that our future is a renewable energy, because soon we are getting out with the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are only available for next 100 years, and after that, only renewable energy will be our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really very interesting and nicely delivered session. Now, shall we take the questions of our participants, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. So, our first question is, why hydropower is not included in renewable energy that you, I guess, mentioned so many times in the presentation?
Yeah. Actually, what happens is, see, this depends upon the country to country, because when we talk about at the world level, hydropower is considered as the part of a renewable portfolio. But in India, we do not consider. Basically, we want to discourage the development of a hydropower, because hydropower is a means when we install a hydropower, it made a huge distractions on the earth. It increases when we develop a hydropower, we have to store the water at certain place, and for that we have to make the big dams, and that dams creation of that dams submerge a huge land that destroy the biodiversity of that project, that destroy the life of the people staying there. We have to evacuate them before making the dams. So this Indian government want to discourage the development of a hydro. So it has not included the hydro in the renewable portfolio.
Thank you, sir. So next question is, in which renewable energy sector you think the extensive R&D is required in order to make it functional? Like I said, majority of our participants are from research background. So I guess that is why this question has come.
Yeah. Actually, see, if we see the renewable energy portfolios, the solar and wind have developed huge. Means there are a huge development in a solar power sector, in a wind power sector. But other than solar and wind power sectors, the biomass, it has a very limitation, because see, the manufacturing of biomass, you cannot directly use the biomass as a fuel. You have to make the pellets of that, and then you have to need the suitable corrections in the existing furnace system. So that need a deep development, that needs a development in that area. That's how to develop the biomass. Also the biodiesel, that the liquid form of bioenergy, that is under development stage. Or one more is there, that is the greener hydrogen. The greener hydrogen concept is also coming. Earlier, the hydrogen was also used as a fuel, but how do we make hydrogen is through electricity. So that is called the gray hydrogen, because you are using the fossil fuel to generate the hydrogen, and that hydrogen is being used as a energy. But we want to use the energy which we want to use the hydrogen which is not generated through the fossil fuels. So that is again an area where a huge research is taking place, and Ntpc is also working in that direction to develop the greener hydrogen without the use of fossil fuels. So these are the areas where more research and more study is required.
Thank you so much, sir. So next question is, what do you think are the major challenges to implement renewable energy to grassroots levels in India?
Yeah, so the development of the renewable energy is again a challenge. Actually, when we have seen that the cost of renewables is coming down, it is very much coming in the range of in the rate of fossil fuels. But still there are huge requirement of a land. Suppose we talk about the solar plants, so they require huge land. Say for if you want to develop the 1 megawatt capacity, it require about 5 acres of the land. So that is still a limitation. Likewise, for development of the wind energy, you have a limited potential, which is limited at coastal areas. So that is also a limitation. Means you cannot put the wind renewable energy at every location, and therefore the distributed power generation is coming up, and where this particular power is used as a local power distribution. And so suppose this Andaman and Nicobar plant of NTPC, it is not connected with the main grid of the India. So that solar power is established at that is installed at Andaman, and it is used for the local grid network. So this is the area. This is the main limitation, that these renewable energies cannot be placed at anywhere in the at anywhere location in India, and there were certain potential areas where only they can be placed. So this is a limitation where for the use of solar for the renewable energies.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we have received a very detailed message from a participant, Ms. Yogita Dahiya, and she's saying, first, I thank you, sir, for so much informative session. I have a question that, as it is evident, mostly we are focusing on wind and solar, and that is justifiable too. Is NTPC also doing in the field of biomass-based energy? So please tell. I raise this question because pollution arising from burning of stubble in Haryana and Punjab in NCR region. So is it in the ambient of NTPC to formulate policies in this arena?
Yeah, NTPC is very much working on the biomass firing. What we are doing is that we are mixing biomass with our present existing mills to fire in the furnace. We have to make certain modifications, certain changes in the existing burning system in the furnace. And at present, we are using 10% biomass with 90% of the fuel. So if we fire, say, 100 kilograms of the fuel, the 90% is 90 kilogram is coal and 10% is biomass. This is under experimental stage. At Dadri, we have already proven this technology, and Rest NTPC plant is also gradually developing their own. But the limitation is the development of the biomass. We have established a small pilot manufacturing unit at our Dadri unit, where we are taking this bio debris from the villagers and making pellets. We are also demonstrating them that how the pellets are made, how these machines can be used for the commercial purpose. And so NTPC is developing this technology to make the biomass, and also making needful changes in our firing system to fire with the this existing coal system. So at present, we are at 10% level, and we are planning to reach by 25%. It's 25% of the biomass with 75% of the coal. So because there is a certain different characteristics, you must be knowing that there is a calorific value difference between the coal and this biomass. Also, the volatile metals are different in coal and biomass. So we have to balance them, and we have to make the needful modifications so that the flame does not go off, and it will burn in a stable manner. So that we are doing.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the queries. We are so grateful to you, sir, that you took out time from your busy schedule and agreed upon taking this session. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
So with this, dear participants, we mark end of this 2-week training program. And now, taking this session ahead, we are moving towards the valedictory session. So, honorable dignitaries, faculties, and dear students, on the behalf of Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur, I welcome you all once again. We all have listened to so many wonderful speakers throughout the training program and gained a lot of insight on advanced nanomaterials and instrumental methods for energy applications. It will be really exciting for us to see what are the views of our participants about this training program, and what do they really think? What do they want to suggest us for all the future events? So now I will invite our participants one by one who have submitted their name yesterday. So you all are requested to unmute yourself once your name is announced, and then you can share your views with us. So in this sequence, first of all, I would like to invite Mr. Sachin Kumar, student MSc previous Department of Physics, Agrawal PG College, Jaipur. So do we have Mr. Sachin Kumar here? Yes, Mr. Sachin Kumar, you can unmute yourself. Yes, you can also turn on your camera if you wish to. Yes, Sachin, tell us.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Hello, hi, I am Sachin Kumar from MSc previous Agrawal PG College. Here I am from Agrawal PG College. I am telling this. I am very thankful to the Agrawal PG College SOD for giving us the presentations and giving knowledge about the seminars on this utility of nanomaterials. I'm very happy to join this workshop. I'm able to know about the workshops, how I can study about the nanomaterials. In this, at the starting points, I'm not able to understand how they can run. This is awesome for me. Hopefully, it's good. All the representatives are given us a knowledge about lots of knowledge about the workshop. And at last, I'm saying that this is very useful to us. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate Suresh Gyanvihar University for very successful, smooth and efficient conduction of this 2-week workshop. This workshop provides us from the basic concepts of understanding nanotechnology towards the application, that is advanced one application of the same. It proves to be very beneficial and helpful to quench the thirst of inquisitive minds, and it gives me an idea and to all the researchers, which provides a wide window for various field of research in the field of nanotechnology. For me, I get an idea of dye synthesized photo cells as a component of nanotechnology that can be applied in research areas. So I'm very thankful towards several speakers who provide us valuable information in this regard. Thank you once again. That's it from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your views. On the same note, now I would like to invite Ms. Remya R. Nair, Teaching Assistant Physics, Kuwait College of Science and Technology, Kuwait. Yes, Ms. Remya, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to all of you. So I'm very happy since I got an opportunity to share my experience about this training program. So I'm working as a teaching assistant, as you told, in Kuwait College of Science and Technology in Kuwait. And same time, I'm a PhD scholar in physics in Suresh Ganvihar University, Jaipur. So this training program is related to nanotechnology and nanomaterials and nano devices. This is close to my field of research. So I gained a lot from this program. And on behalf of me, first of all, I would like to thank Professor Ankur Jain and Dr. Kirti Srivastava and Suresh Ganvihar University for providing me this opportunity. And for the last 2 weeks, daily, I am very happy to attend the sessions are very interesting. And every day I studied a lot, different points I noted. And one of the thing which was very useful to me was most of the speakers, they have shared their videos, like the experimental setups from their video, from their labs they have shared with us. So this made the content, so the content became it was easily understandable, like since there was videos. So it was very, most of the speakers, everyone, it was very, I understood in that way only they delivered the lectures like that. So I have another suggestion. I have a request. If you can provide the Zoom recordings of all these sessions, like if you can provide access to these sessions later on for our future references, it will be great if you can provide that. And once again, I thank all the renowned professors and the coordinators of this training program who made this this training program a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ramya. Definitely will consider your request. And if I think if we had any award for the most active participant in this training program, that definitely we need to give it to you. So thank you so much for your views.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Meenal Bafna, HOD Physics, Agrawal PG College, Jaipur. Yes, I'm looking here. Meenal ma'am. Yes, Meenal ma'am, please, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kitty ma'am. To begin with, at the onset, I would really from the heart congratulate both Professor Ankur Jain for organizing this wonderful workshop. 15 days, how they passed. I know how much these students have landed, and Kirti ma'am, kudos to you also, because you have very well managed all these speakers to our students. From my college, which is basically catering to PG programs and UG programs, we had 20 students attending it. And basically what I find is the curriculum we have from University of Rajasthan, that doesn't gives the insight of the recent developments that are taking place into our fields. But these type of workshops, when we organize such workshops, the student gets to know what all is recently been going along apart from the curriculum, and how the studies of the curriculum can be used into application part. So really this type of workshop had been so beneficial to my students, in the sense that sitting into a college of Jaipur, they got an opportunity to learn the very fundamentals, the recent developments, the work done by the eminent scientists and faculties of the institutes of national repute like IITs, NITs, or the Central Institutes of Research. So really thankful from the heart that you have made such opportunity available to our students also. And one more thing I can just add on to is, yes, definitely these 15 days wouldn't make them turn into a scientist, okay. But that has sown a seed into their hearts, I should say into their minds, that yes, this is how these studies are going to help them up to grow. This is the future they can look up to. And for that reason, I would again repeat the words of Ramaya ma'am, yes, share these type of links and these videos with the students so they can repeatedly see them and learn. And sometimes what happens is that time we do understand, but when we repeatedly see them and learn them, they become more easier and familiar to us. So one more suggestion is, please keep on doing all such type of online training programs and some sort of laboratory work if such videos can be more actually the students get to do also. So in future, I'm looking forward that Professor Ankur Jain and Kitty ma'am, you're going to make certain workshops like that, that these students, not only my students at PG College, where I have 160 students doing MSc, even there are, I can say you there are around 400 to 500 students in Jaipur. So online, they can benefit from such programs. So I'm looking forward to such more workshops. Thank you so much for organizing such workshops for our students. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you to Suresh Ganviar University also.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable remarks. And definitely, we have noted down all your suggestions for the future events. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Farah Diba from SS Jain Subodh PG Autonomous College, Jaipur. Ms. Farah, please unmute yourself.
Let me share. So, respected Professor Ankur Jain sir, Professor Mukesh sir, Dr. Alok Mathur sir, Dr. Kriti Srivastav, and all delegates, members, and attendees. A very good morning to all of you. I'm glad to share my views here today, but before sharing my experience and views, I start with a famous Japanese quote that is, better than 1,000 days of a diligent study is a one day with a great teacher. So the same happened with us in last 15 days, where we go to know in depth about various aspects and diverse topics on utilization of nanomaterials and instrumental techniques for energy application. I'm glad to share with you that the program was not only enlightening in terms of various aspects of research topics, but also highly interesting and engrossing. All the sessions were very productive, or we can say none is better than other, rather we can say all are the best. Like discussions on characterization techniques of ZNO by Professor Somaditya Sen sir, scenario of renewable energy by Mr. Alok Mathur sir, hydrogen production methods by Professor Pratibha Sharma ma'am, polymer nanofillers for energy applications by Professor Kamlendra Avasthi sir, and many more among them. I really said that all the sessions were enriching and very well organized. Also, would like to thank to the and also congratulate sir and appreciate the online etiquettes which are properly managed by the committee members, host and anchor. Their communication gap, we were informed and updated one day before the lecture. All in all, it was indeed a great to attain for everyone, considering that we all are living in this virtual world. Finally, I conclude with a warm gratitude to
I guess we have lost connection with Ms. Diba. Thank you so much, Ms. Diba, for all your valuable comments. Now moving next, now I'd like to invite Mr. Vivek Kumawat. So Mr. Kumawat, if you are in the participant list, can you please raise your hand? I'm unable to see you in the list. Mr. Vivek Kumawat, MSc previous, Department of Physics, Agrawal PG College. Okay. Yes, Mr. Kumawat, you can share your views now.
My name is Vivek Kumawat. I am from Physics Department of Agrawal PG College. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वर्कशॉप अटेंड करके. हमारी HOD मैम मिनल मैम ने हमें इस वर्कशॉप के बारे में बताया था और यह मेरा पहला अनुभव है कि मैं इतने अच्छे IITians और NITians के प्रोफेसर्स के इंटरेक्शन में आया और मुझे बहुत सारी चीजें सीखने को मिली, जैसे कि FTIR रमन और UV स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी, हाइड्रोजन स्टोरेज और भी बाकी चीजें. हेलो, मैं
Yes, Vivek. Yes, Vivek, you're audible. Go ahead.
मुझे ऐसी चीजें सीखने को मिली और मुझे कई चीजें थोड़ी समझ नहीं आई जिनको मैं और जानने का प्रयास करूंगा और मैं और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स चाहते हैं कि ऐसी वर्कशॉप्स हमेशा होती रहे. और अंकुर सर और कीर्ति मैम का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, Vivek, for all nice comments. Now at the end, I would like to invite Dr. Vijay Verma from Bundelkhand Institute of Engineering and Technology. Sir, please unmute yourself. Vijay sir, am I audible to you, sir? Dr. Vijay Verma from Bundelkhand Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, taking this session further ahead, now I want to express hearty thanks to all the participants for their kind remarks about the training program, and we will definitely consider all your suggestions in all our future events. So, dear all, this training program is sponsored by Apni Prayogshala Private Limited, Jaipur. And now I would like to invite Dr. Anup, MD, Director, Apni Prayogshala Private Limited, to please share his views on this training program and say a few words. Yes, sir. Anup sir, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can I share my presentation? Like there is 2 slides or 3 slides. Yes.
Yeah, so you can share it yourself from your system if it is possible.
Yeah. I'm sharing it. I think you can see this.
Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm one of the director member in the company Apni Prayogshala Private Limited.
So can we have your presentation on the slideshow mode, sir?
It is on the slideshow mode as of now.
Sir, I guess you need to share it again, sir. It is not visible that much.
Okay, 1 second. What is it? I'll share the screen. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible. Yes, sir.
Now it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a new startup company. Like we have just started it a year before, and these are the contact details of our company. And the main motivation and vision of this starting this company was to develop scientific thinking right from the school in children, the other main motive was like we know in India there is a huge fund problem that researchers face. So we have developed many systems managing the funds effectively in our lab. That is what we kicked us to give rise to such a company, which will help the researchers also to develop required instruments or applications through effective fund management. And we are supported by, like we support these Make in India, Skill India, GEM, Digital India, and you can find us on GEM also. It's a government marketplace. And this is some 2 instruments which are high-end instruments which were assembled by our company by like effectively managing the available funds. These details you can, if you're interested, you can get in contact with us. And this actually do a low temperature magnitude transport measurements, this system. And this is the temperature profile of a furnace which was assembled to make high quality single crystals, and the temperature stability is less than 1 Kelvin. And we work on automation of these equipments also. And finally, this is the contact details of our company. And if you would like to contact us, you can just write a mail to this apniprayogshala@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I can see a few messages in the chat box also. So I would like to read them on the behalf of our participant. I can see a message from Dr. Ravindra Niranjan, and he's saying, thank you all the coordinators of SGVU Jaipur for providing us to attend this 15 days advanced training program. I would also like to thank to all the renowned speakers for sharing their advanced research works in the field of nanotechnology. It is my suggestion that this type of training would be more useful if it would be contain some experiment in the virtual mode. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Ravindra, we have noted down your suggestion. Thank you so much for the remarks. Now, I'm also seeing the message from Dr. Gurpreet Kaur. Thanks to the coordinator for organizing such a wonderful training program. Thanks for inviting the renowned speaker who shared their research ideas with us and motivated us for research. Another message is from Mr. Akash Garg. Thank you so much to organizer for such a wonderful event organized, and especially thanks to Professor Ankur Sir and Kirtina. Thank you so much, Akash. Now, another message I can see from Ms. Ramya. Ramya, what is left? You can share that also with us. Yes, I need to unmute you now. Just give me a second. Yes, Ramya.
Okay, one more thing, ma'am. Actually, some of the professors welcomed us to their labs for the internship programs. If we are interested, they mentioned that we can contact them during my. I know I'm not in India, but still maybe during my vacations, or it is a great opportunity for our professional development. Not only me, for the students, masters program, those who had masters. Several students were here. I saw them their comments, so they can. I think it is a great opportunity for them. Otherwise, we cannot have access to these well-renowned professors from IIT, NITs, and also actually I noted that I forgot to tell that later on only. That's why I requested again. Thank you very much for giving me a chance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramya. You really deserve a second chance. You attended all the programs so sincerely. Another message I can see in the chat box. It is from Mr. Tarun Patodia. Thank you all the organizers and Professor Ankur Jain sir for organizing such an event between busy schedule of online classes and offline classes. So thank you so much, Tarun sir, for your kind remarks. Now, moving further in the session, now I would like to invite our convener, Professor Dr. Ankur Jain sir, Coordinator, Center for Renewable Energy and Storage, for his concluding remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Kriti. Thanks to all the participants. So at the end, I congratulate you all on successfully completing this 2-week advanced online professional training program on the utilization of nanomaterials and instrumental techniques for energy applications. Actually, this extensive and training program was intended to provide fundamental concepts and practical approach for using various instrumental material characterization techniques to the PG students, research scholars, faculties, and scientists working in the field of nanotechnology. We actually received overwhelming response during the program registration, and entries were made even till the last date. Actually, just one night before I got the last entry. So the participation was received from not only all part of the country, but even from the foreign universities of Japan, UK, and Kuwait, which is having one of our most active participants, Ms. Ramya. We invited speakers from reputed Indian institutions like IITs, NITs, BARC, and some CSIR laboratories, naming like National Physical Laboratory, Central Salt and Marine Chemical Research Institute, and CSMCRI Karaikudi. Also, we have invited the speakers from universities such as University of Mumbai. I'm happy that all of the speakers, they have kindly agreed immediately on my first request. Thanks to all of them, those who have delivered such a wonderful talks. The program started with the address of Solar Man of India, Professor Chetan S. Solanki from IIT Mumbai, who is on travel for 11 years without going back home for this like energy independency. And this lecture was followed by a series of other sessions that were focused on synthesis, characterizations, and applications of different noble nanomaterials, including applications part also, such as energy and security applications, polymer nanofilters, plastic chip electrodes, oxide systems, and silicon nanostructures. All the sessions were organized on the advanced material characterization techniques like electron microscopy, XRD, thermal analysis, and ASM. Various renewable energy scenarios with the applications were also discussed that includes solar cell technology, electrochemical energy storage, and conversion technology, as well as hydrogen production and storage technology. I hope you all have gained a lot of knowledge from all these sessions, and it will be proved to be beneficial for all your future pursuits. With this, I give you all my best wishes for a successful research career ahead. Wish you all a very happy Holi in advance. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Kriti.
Thank you so much, sir, for all your remarks. Now, at the end, I would like to express hearty gratitude and thanks to all the stakeholders of this advanced training program. So at first, we are so thankful to all our speakers for taking out time from their busy schedule and delivering wonderful technical sessions. I would like to express thanks to all our participants for attentively listening all the sessions, timely joining the sessions, and they were so participative throughout the training program. I'm also thankful to Professor Dr. Ankur Jain, sir, convener of this training program, for organizing such event and giving me this opportunity. I'm very thankful to the management of Suresh Gyan Bihar University for providing all the facilities. So thank you so much, everyone. With this, I would like to declare end of the training program today. And I wish all of you a very happy and safe Holi in advance. The feedback form link will be shared afterwards. You will receive it on the email as well as on the WhatsApp group. So please fill that form timely and submit it. I guess the last date is tomorrow itself. So you need to also go through the assessment that is given in the feedback form itself. So my best wishes are with all the participants. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice day.